Welcome to Ruby Wellness Academy. I'm Nancy Ruby, and today we're going to do a short but very effective practice in alignment with Kapha dosha. So Kapha is the element of earth and water, and the winter season is the Kapha season. It's a time of pulling in, reflecting, resting, hibernating, and at the same time we want to utilize the energy of that earth element, which is our strength and our stability and our steadfastness. The imbalance of Kapha could be getting a little too heavy, a little too drawn in, and movement towards lethargy or depression. So we're going to find that balance of moving our body, and this is best first thing in the morning during the Kapha hours of the day, which is 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., to get our prana flowing and to make sure we utilize the strength of that time of day and the strength within our own body, that earth element with a little bit of water to get moving and aligning with your own center. So let's come into Tadasana and plant firmly on your own 2 feet. Got my little assistant here today. She loves yoga. So this is Nulla. So Nulla, plant the 4 corners of your feet on the floor, and you too, please. Dropping into that sense of connecting with the earth and sending our roots down deep and wide. So you want to spread your toes out. And as you sink down, allow your knees to soften just a little bit so the energy can flow easily up and down the long bones of your legs and through those knee joints. And then as you exhale, allow the muscles of the legs to hug those bones. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, draw the legs towards each other so you're hugging the midline. Take another breath in and still holding that muscular energy. Now we're going to think of pulling the energy from the earth all the way up the length of the legs into the core of the pelvis. So the seat of the pelvis is the movement of mobility. So that's the water element. So we're pulling the earth up into that water element. That would be the first and second chakra energy. So holding your hands on the rim of your pelvis, let's go ahead and tilt the pelvis back just a little bit as if we're pouring all the water out the back, and then pour forward. And as you do this, I'll turn sideways. You want to keep that softness in the knees, in the joint, while maintaining that engagement of the muscles. So drawing back, scooping the belly. As you come forward, let there be a little more space. Exhale and inhale, just finding that balance of steadiness and strength in the legs, the soles of the feet, along with that fluidity and mobility of the pelvis into the lower back. So let's find neutral now, and we come neutral by aligning the pubic bone and the hip bones as if the bowl of the pelvis is holding a body of water. And then we'll draw the energy up from the hips to the armpits. Get nice and tall, still engaging that core. Take the arm bones up, back, and down. And let's spin the head of the humerus out. And as you exhale, plug in again. Inhale, rise up, letting the arms come overhead. Gaze up, reach up, and exhale, bring the arms down. This is a lovely way to greet the day. Inhale, open yourself to today's possibilities. Exhale through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. One more time. Muscles hugging the bones. And as you bring the arms down, keep that lift through the central axis of your spine. Let's roll the shoulders out. So you can breathe in through the nose to warm and moisten and cleanse the breath as it comes into the lungs. And the exhalation is either through the nostrils or through the throat, if you want to use that H-A, ha breath. That calms the nervous system and releases any unnecessary tension. Now plug the shoulder blades into your heart, and let's step the feet a little wider apart, turning the toes out slightly. As you bend your knees, look down to see that your kneecaps are aligned with your second and third toe, and right at the hinge of the hips, right here at the groin, we're going to bend, pulling the bottom back and up, hands to your thighs, tone the belly, go down as far as you feel comfortable, and then push down to lift back up, taking the arms up midline and open. Exhale, take it down, keep the heart open, shoulder blades strong on your back. Inhale, take it up. So as we come down, watch my spine. You're going to keep the sitting bones lifted, the belly toned. Press down to lift up, so we're moving into the roots of our legs. Press into the feet and keep the hips way back so your knees are more over the ankles and not jutting out over the toes. Let's flow. Exhale, inhale. So our intention today is to honor and extend, build our strength and connection to the earth element. Our steadiness. This keeps us safe and aligned over Earth and her gravity. Inhale. Warming up the major muscles of the hips and thighs. 3 more times, feeling that energy awakening, sinking down with strength, lifting up with stability, holding upright. Okay, release the arms around to the heart, and then all the way around and down again. This time as you come down, keep your head and heart up and lift through the sitting bones to lengthen the hamstrings. And then sink back down. Let's do that a few times to awaken, a gentle stretch in the back body, keeping the belly toned, the heart open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, strong squat. So you can go as low as your knees are comfortable, building that strength once again. One more time, and then we'll hold into the squat and pull all the way up center, pushing down as you rise up, and bring the arms around. Now let's link that together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Hips come up and squat. Now bring the hands up midline and around. Inhale. Exhale into your squat. Stretch, sink, and lift. So let's get it flowing. Let's get that prana moving. So when we practice for Kapha, it's really important to work with that sense of muscular action and getting your energy moving, right? So Kapha does have a tendency to get a little heavy. Earth and water make mud. Mud can be like sludge. So we want to mix it up and keep a little bit of lightness in that earth element. In, out. One more time. And release. Take it up again. Come with me. All the way down. And this time we'll pull the sitting bones up. Tone the belly, and then releasing the chin to the throat. Go ahead and just gently round the back, drawing the hands down if you'd like, or keeping the hands on the thighs, and just allow yourself to sink into sensation. Feel the feet well earthed, the hips rising, bend the knees as necessary to keep the lift on the sitting bones. Finding that length of the rib cage moving away from the pelvis, releasing the neck and jaw. So find some ease in this pose. Full deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose. Ha. One more time. So moving that energy that you've awakened, let it spread throughout your body. sliding the hands to the top of the knees, lower the hips, tone the belly, lift the heart. And let's come all the way up, arms up center, and release down. Roll the shoulders out. Let's come right back into center. Feel that mountain pose. Stand strong on your own 2 feet. And then we're going to just start to lift one leg and the other. I call this slow motion marching. Bringing the opposite arm forward. And notice as I come up and down, you might want to lift not quite as high. You want to keep your head centered as opposed to leaning. So as you bring one foot off the floor, focus on pushing down through the foot that remains on the earth. Okay. Tap your hand across to the opposite leg. This is an excellent stimulus for your brain as you do what's called a cross crawl. So we're stimulating neural pathways across the corpus callosum. And that is the space between the right and left hemispheres of your brain. Okay, so go lower if you need to. Lift the leg up to the height of the hip if you can. And check in with that muscle tone. Are you squeezing the muscles to the bone? Press down to lift up and go slower now. And slower. Breathing. And then finally bring it up. Stand on one leg. Open both arms, elbows forward, thumbs back, feeling the rib cage lift and the shoulder blades lift the heart. Let's circle the ankle. This is difficult. You could have your hand on a chair or near the wall, or you could keep your foot low. Circle the ankle the other way, establishing that strength and balance. Then spread the toes, stretch the leg forward, and then bring it down. Release the arms, release the shoulders, and let's shift the weight to the other side. Let's march again, slowly. So you feel that balance, pressing down to lift up, keep the belly lifted in and up as well. And then we're going to press down to the other leg, balance, arms out, elbows forward. I call this the hors d'oeuvre tray stance. So you're holding a couple trays and you're lifting nice and tall through the crown of the head. Let's rotate the ankle. Breathing, keeping the hips right over that standing ankle. Draw the hips back rather than letting them slide forward. One more breath, push down. Now squeeze the quadriceps of the lifted leg and lower down. Good. Release it out. Now let's step the feet wide and go deeper into the hips so the feet are grounded. From the rim of the pelvis, you'll turn to your right. So feel how you can swivel the pelvis. Let's swivel to your right and let your legs follow. So your back leg is rolling in, your front leg is rolling out, and you want to bring the hips around. They may not square, that's okay. You want to make sure you feel comfortable in your knees and your hip sockets. Let your rib cage turn. Take a deep breath in, plug into your back leg as you exhale. And then slowly bend your front knee directly over your ankle. Keep your torso upright. Find that hors d'oeuvre tray, elbows forward, thumbs back. So lengthening through the back leg, easing into the front leg. Hold your arms here or draw them up as far as you feel comfortable, perhaps overhead, and lift and open. Now let's hold for a few breaths. You might want to pulsate a little bit, sinking into the stretch point, slightly coming up by squeezing the legs towards each other and toning that belly. So develop that awareness of your own muscular strength. And let's hold steady and breathe deeply and evenly. So when you're practicing Kapha Yoga, you want to stay a little longer in your poses and build your stamina along with that strength. One more breath. Now with inhalation, rise up, let the arms open. And then exhale, turn, and you're going to turn that back foot in order to be comfortable in your knee. Draw back through that left hand, keeping your pelvis aligned. You're going to let your right knee bend again and go into the inner left thigh. So here again, we'll do a little pulsation. If your shoulders need a break, you could place your hands on your hips instead. Otherwise, lift the hands, biceps to the sky, and the shoulder blades. Your arms start at the shoulder blades. Look out over your right fingertips and pause in the pose. Ease down into that inner left thigh. Build your strength, your stamina, and your patience. Kapha dosha people are very patient. That's the benefit of Kapha. Steady, settled, patient. One more breath here. Ease on down, letting your breath go. Then inhale, hands to the hips or overhead. Turn those toes forward. Release the hands. Slide them to the rim of the pelvis. Pull the heels in and drop into that squat again. And just give yourself a little bit more action in the strength of your legs and hips. You know, winter season in the Rockies, where we have a lot of snow, therefore ice, it's really important to build your core strength and the steadiness of your legs so you don't go down. Stay strong on your own 2 feet. Let's sink into that squat and then rotate the bottom up, lifting your sitting bones, lowering the crown of the head, and then go ahead and let your torso sink, maybe taking your hands to the floor. And then you can play with lowering down in the hips or lifting high. So play around here, feel into your stretch points and your strength. Find the balance between the two. A couple more breaths. Oh, I love how my kitty is posing for us today. Sink down, take your hands to your thighs. Tone the belly, lift up so you're still in your squat. Then you're push into the earth and rise up and release. Taking the hands to the rim of the pelvis. Let's swivel to your left. I'm mirroring you. So your left leg swivels out. You might want to take it slightly more left. Your back heel moves out. Your thigh rolls in. So you're facing your torso to the short edge of the mat for warrior one. Plug in that back leg. It's your anchor. You're steady. It's going to hold you in place while you slowly float that front knee forward. So it's like the boat floating away from the anchor. Steady and strong. Draw the arms out, elbows forward, thumbs back so that you feel the shoulder blades lift the heart. And then tone the solar plexus. Tendency is to push it out, which I often do. Pull it back in, and then choose your arm position. And let's pulsate a little bit. Feeling into that just right placement, strength and length coming into balance. Holding it that just right position, lengthening from hip to armpit. Take the gaze up, breathe steadily. One more breath. Let's inhale, lifting from center, straightening the front leg. Arms come out shoulder height. And then we swivel. And as we swivel, we're going to turn the back foot a little so you can swivel your pelvis forward. Still might be at a little bit of an angle. What's really important is this front knee. Now your left knee is going to lower directly over the ankle and draw towards the little toe. So if your pelvis has to rotate, that's okay. Then lift your bottom, lift your sitting bones, tone the belly, and pull strongly through that right side. Again, this is your anchor. This front side, your left side is floating. Little bit of pulsation, sinking, hugging, down and up with your breath. And then holding. Again, hands could come to the hips if that's more comfortable for you today. And let your breath be your teacher. So the breath is slow, deep, and even. No struggling. Definitely a little challenge, but not a struggle. One more breath here, exhaling into your strength. Inhale, drop gracefully, bring the toes in. Hands come back to the hips. Bend the knees a little. Let's hinge deep at the groin. Hinge forward. And bend the knees as much as you need to, hands to the floor. If you prefer blocks under your hands, that's an option too. You could walk your feet a little wider apart and then lower down. Draw the chin to the throat. Release your neck and shoulders. And then I recommend walking your hands in line with your feet. Bending your elbows behind you. So point your elbows back, keeping them shoulder width apart so your collarbones are nice and broad and your heart's wide open even as you round in, curling into your spine. Straighten the legs if that's available. Breathe. Where can you release? Where can you kind of surrender to gravity here without losing the integrity of your alignment? This is the dropping in, the inner reflection, the quieting down. One more breath. Then lifting the head, bend the knees enough so you can bring your hands to the floor. Shift your weight a little bit right to left. And then you're simply going to bring one foot in and put the knee down, and then the other foot in. And now you are on all fours, right? And then drawing over onto the long edge of your mat, fingers spread, wrists slightly forward to the shoulders. Let's go ahead and round the back. Draw the sitting bones up and sink the spine, opening the heart. Your toes could be tucked or toenails down. As you round into cat, make sure your big toes aren't coming together. They like each other, but you want to keep them straight back. And bring that water element, not the watermelon, but the water element into your pose. Nice and fluid through the spine now, while acknowledging that steady foundation through your hands and your shins. Never underestimate the power of cat-cow. So important to move your spine fluidly. Let's lift the head and then drop your belly. And then move your belly to the right, up, and to the left. So you're creating a hoop. And play around with this. Let your elbows and your shoulders and your neck relax. So again, bringing that little bit of water element to balance out the earth. Other direction. Remembering that Kapha, Kapha, because it is mostly earth, can sometimes get a little too heavy or a little too rigid. So you want to add that gentle fluidity to balance that out. Stop in the middle. Take a deep breath in. We'll do one downward dog. So push your feet to the floor. You can either draw the hands forward and do the puppy pose, which keeps the knees on the ground, or you can take the knees off the floor and reach up. Let's stretch out the feet a little. Bring both heels high, bend the knees. Bring your bottom up, your tail way up. If you're a puppy dog, your tail's way up in the sky. And then hug in the front ribs. Firm the arms and breathe into your heart space, as the heart is the seat of this pose versus the pelvis. It's now in the heart. Feel the roots of your shoulder blades on your back. Practice steadiness. This is also a gentle inversion, hips above your heart. So you're giving a wonderful, easeful
influence into your nervous system to help it quiet down, relax. On your next breath, lower your knees, bring your feet around, draw into a comfortable seat, and personally I like to sit on a bolster. So I'm going to draw that up. You can cross your legs so that your feet are under your knees or just at your ankles. Sometimes it's nice to press the feet together or line them up. I like to line my heels up and then I tilt so my shins come to the floor. So a strong seat. Place your hands together, interlace your fingers, stretch the wrists. Let's release the wrist after being on them. So whenever you feel heat culminating somewhere in your body, that's circulation, that's energy, and that's a good thing. And then we want to balance it out with releases. Drawing into center, feel both sitting bones evenly grounded. And then lift the belly, lift the side body, draw the arm bones back, soft neck, relaxed jaw. And then turning the palms up one more time, that hors d'oeuvre train, we're going to very gently twist the rib cage side to side. And the breath is in through the nose, out through the mouth. Almost like you're blowing out a birthday candle in front of you, just to cleanse the lungs and give that spine a rotation to unwind the effort of the practice today. And we're just going to end in a seated meditation. So clear out the lungs and prepare to relax in deep contemplation, which is also a wonderful element of kapha, of winter time, of settling into our own beingness. Hands at your thighs now. Drop in by closing your eyes, feeling your physical body align so there's ease in the hips and shoulders, lengthen the spine, letting your breath go all the way. Now we can relax that muscle energy a bit. As you inhale, let the lightness of your breath bring expansion to the upper body. And then as you exhale, allow yourself to settle, sink in. Let the earth support you. And as you sit in this place of meditation, reflect on your own relationship with the earth, with that sense of steadiness and strength, stability and security. And perhaps by practicing this Kapha Yoga in the morning, it'll help remind you that you are able to stand well on your own 2 feet as you develop that strength and maintain that sense of centeredness and stability in yourself. This is the beauty of Ayurveda yoga, igniting your awareness of the elements of nature and bringing them alive within you. Sit and breathe for as long as you feel comfortable. And thank you for joining me today. Namaste.